Hi there, welcome back to Waito Tutorials, and today I want to show you how can you manage your structures in 3D model and your layer system in a 2D modeling. We have two sets of layers, the structures and the specific 2D layers. These structures are the same as the layers, but the main difference is that you can categorize structures in stories. Let's create a new structure. If you want to create a new one, you can find it under the structure menu up here. Click on create new structure, and here in the pop-up window, you can set a name for it. Let's name it test, and you can set a level. So this new test structure will be created under the ground floor with a 150 centimeter addition. Click OK. And now, if you want to use this newly created structure, you will have to assign some elements to it. How can you do this? Well, it's very easy. You just do a right click, go to the select tool, and you just basically click on your elements which are already created. Right click again, and you see here a set structure option. Select it, and now you can select the floor and select the structure inside it. Here is our test structure. Use it, and a very useful tool is a view properties window here. You can reach it by clicking on this icon or by right clicking, and in the drop down menu you can select the view properties also. And here are all the structures inside this project. You can enable or disable them, showing or hiding some elements. Right now, let's disable this test structure. Click OK. And now, these elements which we have just assigned to the test structure, they disappeared. So we hid them, but if you want to show them again, here they are. Just select from the list the test structure and tick this checkbox here. You can see your modifications on the go by just clicking the apply button down here in the corner, in the bottom left corner, and as you uncheck those boxes and hit apply, you can see which structures did you disable. So this is the basic function of the structure system. The level addition is very interesting because right now, as we switched these elements assignment to the test structure, it did not change their level. As you can see, they're standing right now right there where they were before the assignment. But if you want to increase or decrease their level, if you want them to go up or down, you can do this by going here in the structure menu, edit current structure, and edit this level. So if you want a higher level, click OK, and now they went a little higher. Everything inside that structure which you want to modify, everything goes together, up or down, depending on what parameter you inserted. Let's put them back where they belong. 150. They went back. Now, what about the 2D space? Well, here is the view properties again, and the structures are still applicable here too. So if I want to disable the test structure, as you can see, those elements disappeared. But here we have a 0 layer. This is always here. It's automatically created with every single 2D drawing. But if you want to create more of those layers and you want to manage your 2D lines, circles, rectangles, whatsoever, you need to create new layers. Up here in the ribbon, you find the layer menu right next to the structure menu. Here you can create a new layer. Let's call it test underscore layer. Okay. And by right clicking and checking out the view properties, you can see that a new layer section appeared under the structures. And here is our new test layer. If you click OK, what you see is that we switched to the layer system. So the thing is that if you want to use layers, you cannot work with both structures and layers. You need to select between them. You have to decide if you want to use at once the layers or the structures. You cannot use both at the same time. So if you want to see structures, you can do that. Then you will see the structures only. But if you want to see your layers, then you will see the layers only. So that's the basic function with the layers and the structures. So here is our new layer. How can we use it? Up here in the drop-down menu, we can select our layers. We have only one right now, but let's create some other. Layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, and now we have all the layers here. This is very useful if you want to create something only in the 2D space. So you don't have to use the structures, you have these specific 2D layers to distinguish between the two systems. So I'm creating now some lines here. Maybe this could be an axis system or anything else. 450, Let's create some of them. Let's select those. Make them look like our axes. And now if I switch back to structures, now I can see the structure and the layer as well. Now let's do some practicing with those structures and layers. Let's say that we have this floor, and inside this ground floor we want to distinguish between the rafters, purlins, and all the wooden part of the building, and between the concrete ones, the walls especially. How can we do this? How can we separate them? Right now we have these structures. These are referring only to the DVG import. It doesn't matter right now in our case. The structure disables basically the full wall system and the concrete slab. And here the roof structure disables the rafters and the purlins. If we want to create even smaller groups, let's say I want to create a filter for those bottom plates. In this case, we need to create a new structure in the same floor, named bottom plates. Okay, and now the active structure is the new one. I'm going to select every element I want to reassign, right click and set structure, ground floor and bottom plates. Now if I want to see only those elements, I hide everything else and there are only the bottom elements. You can also rename your structures. I can tell this to be concrete. And now this is going to do the same when I disable, but it's called something else. It's called concrete now. Right, we have just played a little with the structures. Now let's see how can we use the layers in the 3D space. Let's say I have all these layers and I want a view where I only see these two rafters, these knee braces, and those two, those studs, this bottom plate, and yes, that's it. So I want a view where I can see only these elements, but the problem is that they are in different structures. how can we solve this problem? Well, now that I have selected all of them, I do a right click, set a layer, set them to one specific layer, and now if I turn that one layer on, I can only see those elements which we assigned to this layer. See the difference now between the layer and structure? In the layer system, it doesn't matter to what structure the elements belong to. With the layer system, you can set a different type of filters. This is one type, and the structures is another type of filtering. This is the basic difference between the two systems. Now I hope this little summary about layers and structures proved to be useful and helpful, but if you have more questions, you can always contact us through the details in the video description. So that's basically how can you use the structures and layers in Wayto softwares.